What's going on, guys? You all love my curry recipes, so in this one we're going to be making butter chicken, which I have made in the past, which was about 2 years ago now, but this one's just a more updated version, better overall flavour and better technique. Let's get straight into it. Please sit back, relax and enjoy.
Alright guys, starting the prep work, we're going to need 2 brown or yellow onions that have been peeled and the scraps have been saved for a stock. Let's slice these in half, and in the half moon position, slice these nice and thin. When reaching the opposite side, lay it down flat and continue slicing, which will make it safer and easier to work with, leaving us with all of this. Next, we need 6 cloves of garlic and 30 grams or 1.06 ounces of peeled ginger. With both of them, run them along a fine microplane or grater to create a paste, and this is going to give us a stronger flavour compared to if we simply chopped it up. And be sure to scrape it all out of there to avoid wasting any of this good stuff, then divide both by half. Now, as this is butter chicken, we do need chicken thighs, so here is 6 boneless and skinless chicken thighs with a combined weight of 1 kilo or 2.2 pounds. Let's add these to a mixing bowl if they actually want to come off the plate. And to this, add in 3/4 of a cup or 170 grams of natural Greek yogurt, which not only adds flavour, it also helps with tenderizing. 3 teaspoons or 6.5 grams of Garam Masala to add a complex medley of warmth, sweetness and spice. 1.5 teaspoons or 3.5 grams of ground cumin for even more warmth and an earthy-like flavour. 1 teaspoon or 2.5 grams of ground turmeric for a bittersweet muskiness and great colour. And 1 teaspoon or 2 grams of dried red chili powder, which is optional, but it does add a nice little mellow heat. Now I have to be honest here, I started mixing this together and realised I forgot about my prepped ingredients in the fridge, so don't forget to add in half of the minced garlic paste, half of the minced ginger paste, as well as a generous seasoning of sea salt flakes. Then we can mix this together, ensuring everything is incorporated and the chicken is well coated. Wrap this up tightly and marinate in the fridge for a minimum of 30 minutes, up to 48 hours, and with this one, the longer the better, but it still tastes good after 30 minutes or so, so don't worry if you're short on time. Place a large pot or high-rimmed pan over a high heat, and once hot, pour in 1.5 teaspoons or 30 milliliters of canola oil, then proceed to add in the marinated thighs, doing so in batches, and sear for 3 minutes or until golden. Please don't add all the chicken in at once, otherwise it won't sear properly and start steaming itself, resulting in rubbery thighs. Once slightly golden, flip them over, repeating the same 3-minute sear, then after 6 minutes in total, carefully remove the thighs and place them into a bowl for the time being. Also, don't feel the urge to taste the marinade as the chicken isn't fully cooked at this point. Now into the same pot or pan, add in 4 tablespoons or 56 grams of ghee or clarified butter, giving it a mix to help it melt quickly, then add in the thinly sliced onion and saute for 4 to 5 minutes, breaking up any large chunks and mix frequently. What we're looking for here is for the onion to start releasing its moisture, which will then react with the fond on the bottom of the pot and start lifting it, transferring the flavour into the onions. We can now add in the remaining minced garlic paste, along with the remaining minced ginger paste, and continue to saute for 45 seconds, stirring the whole time, which will prevent it from burning and allow this to get fragrant and aromatic. To this, let's add in 2 teaspoons or 4.5 grams of ground cumin for that earthy warm flavour, 2 teaspoons or 4 grams of ground coriander for a slightly sweet aromatic and floral flavour, as well as 1 teaspoon or 2 grams of red chili powder, which is optional, and mix it through, stirring for 1 minute, which will allow those spices to toast even more and transfer their flavour and aromatics throughout the pot. Now to add the base and start the gravy, pour in 800 grams or 1.7 pounds of diced canned tomatoes, along with 1/4 of a cup or 60 milliliters of water to rinse off the excess tomato. Season to taste with sea salt flakes, and then mix this to allow those flavours to become friends, and then bring this to a boil. Once achieved, mix again, reduce the heat to low, and simmer for 8 minutes, stirring it halfway through. After 8 minutes, transfer the pot to a cold burner off the heat, and I just realised there's somehow curry on my cupboard door. Let's then use an immersion blender to blend this into a nice smooth paste, and if you only have a food processor, wait for this to cool down for at least 30 minutes, otherwise you'll run the risk of the plastic expanding, which will then explode and cause serious damage to yourself and your property. I will also say that if you don't have any of these tools, it's fine to skip this step too if need be. Once smooth, add in 2.5 teaspoons or 5 grams of Garam Masala to give this a fresh kick of flavour, as well as 1.5 cups or 375 milliliters of thickened cream, which will give us that orange colour and create a nice smooth texture, 2.5 teaspoons or 11 grams of sugar, which is optional but it does balance out the flavours, and finally, season to taste with sea salt flakes. Give all of this a good mix to combine, allowing those flavours to become friends, then reintroduce the seared chicken thighs, adding them all in and push them into the sauce, and also add in any resting juices for even more added flavour. This can now be placed back over a high heat and brought back to a boil whilst mixing it around every so often, and then once boiling, mix it yet again to keep those flavours moving, reduce the heat to low and allow to simmer for 25 minutes for that chicken to cook through. Now in the meantime, place a saucepan over a high heat and add in 1 cup or 200 grams of washed basmati rice as well as 2 cups or 500 milliliters of cold water. For additional flavour, I'm also adding in half a cinnamon stick, 1 star anise, 3 green cardamom pods and 2 dried bay leaves, which is going to add a beautiful earthy warmthness and sweetness to the rice, also adding in a pinch of sea salt flakes to taste, then stir this through and bring it to a boil. The heat can then be reduced to low, place on the lid and steam for 14 minutes undisturbed. Once that's done, turn the heat off and leave the lid on for a final 4 minutes undisturbed, then carefully remove it, being careful of the steam, remove the spices as they're no longer needed and have done their job, and fluff up the soft rice using a spatula or a fork to separate each grain, and this can then be removed from the stovetop. Going back to the curry, the gravy has taken on fantastic colour and our chicken is tender and soft. This can also then be removed from the stovetop. As for serving this up, let's place down the soft and fluffy rice, come through laying the tender chicken thighs on top, or do it however you'd like, and of course, spoon over that amazing full of flavour butter chicken gravy, covering the chicken and most of that rice. Garnish this with coriander or cilantro, which is optional, to then leave us with this beautiful aromatic butter chicken curry that has the most incredible flavour. The only thing left to do now is we can then pull apart our tender chicken, lather it in that sauce, and we can then dig in.
So there we have it. This recipe right here serves 4 to 6 people, not 46 people, and like most of my recipes, it can easily be doubled, tripled and so on, or halved if you wanted to make less. To store it, you can place it in the fridge for up to 4 days or in the freezer for up to 6 months, and to reheat it, just place it back in a pan over a medium-high heat and just heat it up till it's nice and hot, ensuring that chicken's hot in the center, or you can place it in the microwave, just do whatever's easiest for you. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash that like button, comment, share, do all of that stuff. It really does help my channel out, and consider subscribing along with hitting that bell notification next to it so you never miss when I upload. Thanks for watching everyone, stay safe and enjoy.